What motor is this?
It's an M52 B30. It's a 3-liter that's with 2 cranking cams.
Oh, it's like a hybrid. Okay. And then this is a GT30.
GT30 76R.
It's a tiny turbo for this motor, but it should spool pretty quick. It's got
about halfway.
Halfway?
Yeah.
Alright, well, keep an eye on it.
If you want, I can add more. I brought oil.
Probably add a little bit then. This is just a drift car, right? Or are you gonna?
Yes, a drift car.
Wow, okay. Always nice to see Turbo Smart stuff, because you know it's gonna work. Yeah, this thing looks pretty decent actually once it's all buttoned up. GT30 turbo, as we talked about it earlier, and it's got some nice control arms. Let's see how much power she makes. G4X Link ECU, which actually works pretty well. So cleaned up the map, and I did my first somewhat full pull. Ignition timing is very low, but you can see we made about 9 pounds of boost. Yeah, 9.5 psi or so, 9.3 psi here. Timing was about 12 degrees, and let's see how much power we made. Okay, so actually the graph looks good. Air fuel looks good. 308 torque and horsepower. Let's scale this. Scale it like that. Cool. So 285 horsepower with really low timing. Now we'll ramp in some timing and see what this motor likes. It's probably gonna like more timing than that. And then after that, what we're gonna do is he's got a manual boost controller, which on the Link it needs to have electronic, but I guess since he doesn't have one today, we'll play it with the manual and we'll go from there. But overall looks pretty good. Pretty happy with it so far. So we got this thing dialed in pretty good. So we are right at 12 psi. We're running some back pressure issues, but it's a drift car. It's got a GT30, very small turbo, 372 and 377 torque. Do some more fine tuning, but everything else looks pretty good here. Let's look at our ignition table. On our ignition table here, look at the graph. Graph looks good. Need to do a little fine tuning there. Look at our fuel table. Fuel table looks good. You can see the spike in fuel and the torque peak, and then it just doesn't want any fuel top end because it's choking because of the turbo. You can see here the boost is coming down to 13.7, falls down to 12.4 up top. But overall, pretty good for the setup. Oh, it's leaking from there?
Yeah, it's hot.
Is it tight? Nope. Almost done. I was gonna do just this last pull. It should make like close to 400, and then just clean it up, and that's it. Cool. There we go, tighten that up. Yeah, that was really loose. Luckily it was on the other side. I didn't see it leaking earlier though.
I didn't either.
You should also, you should get rid of that and add a fuel pressure sensor to the ECU later so you can actually log it. And if you ever have issues with fuel pressure or whatever, you can see in the ECU, and it saves so much headaches. And I actually sell fuel pressure sensors too. I actually have one. Yeah, right here. So yeah, get one of these. You can put that on there and then just throw it in the fitting and then wire it into the ECU. That way you have fuel pressure input. It'll help out so much whenever you need to diagnose stuff. If your fuel pump's going out, or if you got a clogged fuel filter or whatever, you can see, especially with the 85.
What size threads?
This is a 1/8 MPT.
MPT, okay.
But I need this for the dyno. This is our alternative performance flex fuel. No, not flex fuel. I'm so used to saying flex fuel. It's a pressure gauge. And that's the boost controller. Bam. Alright, let's continue with this BMW is officially done. So we fixed the fuel leak, fixed a couple other things that were wrong with it, but nothing really major. Oh yeah, don't forget to add a catch can here. So
Yeah.
just put some, like a breather or something over here.
For sure.
But she ended up making 404 to the wheels and 418 torque. Let's go look at the boost here. So the boost came down to 13 PSI and mid-range was about 14.8. Not bad for a GT30 actually. Torque was 418 to the wheels. Air fuel is nice and flat, so we're good there. That's the hub RPM. But that concludes our dyno session on Link. She's ready to go and should be a fun drift car.